Every single developer knows that feeling, right? That little line of red text that pops up after you hit send on an API request. It's just this tiny message, but it has the power to absolutely ruin your entire day. Well, today, we're going to decode that secret language. We're going to take you from totally confused to completely confident. So you hit send on that request, you're waiting, and then, bam, your heart just sinks. That red error message shows up, and that one single question hits you like a ton of bricks. Now what? For so many of us, that's a moment of just pure panic. I remember this so clearly. When I was a junior developer, I just sit there, staring at my screen, feeling like a complete and total fraud. I would waste entire afternoons just randomly changing bits of my code, just hoping, praying that something would stick. It was so frustrating, so inefficient, and honestly, it made me question if I was even cut out for this job. But what if I told you that you could diagnose any API error in less than a minute? Look, in today's job market, especially looking ahead to 2026, being the person who solves problems fast, that's your superpower. I figured out a system that completely changed the game for me, and today I'm going to share it with you. Okay, so my big aha moment, the thing that changed everything, was realizing that the API isn't trying to be difficult, it's actively telling you what's wrong. Your very first and most important clue is always the status code. So if you see any code that starts with a 2, like a 200 or a 201, you can just take a deep breath and relax. It means your request worked perfectly. The problem isn't the API call. It's probably somewhere else in your code. This clue alone is going to save you from hours of debugging the wrong thing. Now this is the one you're going to see most often. A 400-level error is basically the API server telling you, hey, the problem's on your end, you sent me something I don't get. And you know what? This is actually great news because it means you have the power to fix it. And then you've got the 500s. This is the server waving a white flag and saying, it's me, not you. The second you see a 500-level error, just stop. Stop debugging your own code. It's a server-side problem. Your job is to report it and move on with your day. All right, think of this as your API detective's cheat sheet. A 200 means, okay, you're good to go. A 400 is a bad request. Go check your syntax. See a 401? That's unauthorized, which means you basically forgot your keys, so go add your authentication token. 404, not found, means you're knocking on the wrong door, so check that URL. And 500, well, that's an internal server error. It's a server bug. These 5 codes right here, I'm telling you, they will solve 90% of your problems. So the status code gives you the headline, right? Something like client error. But to get the full story, to really understand exactly what went wrong, you need to look at the response body and the headers. A well-designed API doesn't just yell bad request at you. No, it gives you this beautiful, detailed error message right in the response body. It's like a witness statement from a crime scene, telling you the exact field that's wrong and why. In this case, email format is invalid. Boom, problem solved. Now, in a tool like Postman, you'll usually see a few ways to view this body. Raw is just the messy, unformatted text. Preview is really for rendering web pages. But pretty is your best friend. It formats that JSON so it's clean, color-coded, and super easy to read. Just always start there. Okay, so if the response body is the witness statement, then the response headers, those are the hidden forensic clues. They're the metadata, the fingerprints, the background info that give you all this crucial context about what's really going on. So what kind of clues should you be looking for? Well, content type tells you if you're getting back JSON or maybe something else. Location is super useful. After you create a new resource, it'll give you the direct URL to it. And my personal favorite, X rate limit remaining. This little guy tells you exactly how many more requests you can make before the server decides to cut you off. So your API call finally works. That's great. But in the real world, that's not enough. It also has to be fast. Seriously, knowing how to measure and talk about response time is a skill that separates the junior developers from the senior ones. Here are the numbers you need to know. Anything under 200 milliseconds, that's excellent. Users won't even notice it. Once you get over 500 milliseconds, it starts to feel kind of sluggish. And if you're taking more than 3 seconds, well, that's a critical problem. Most users will just give up and leave. Okay, here is a pro tip that will make you look like a total veteran. Never, ever trust the time of just a single request. The very first one is almost always slow because of something called a cold start. You've got to run the request 3 to 5 times and then take the average. That's your true performance number. All right, we've gathered all the clues, right? We've got the status code, the body, the headers, and the timing. Now, let's put it all together into that simple system I promised you, the one that takes you from confused to confident in under a minute. This is it. This is your 4-step blueprint. 1. Check the status code. First question, always. Whose fault is it, mine or theirs? 2. Read the response body. What is the exact problem? 3. Inspect the headers. Are there any hidden clues I'm missing? And 4. Measure the response time. Is it actually fast enough? That's the entire process. It takes less than a minute, and I promise you, it will give you the right answer every single time. So the next time an API call fails, you're not going to feel that panic. Nope. You're going to have a system. You'll have the confidence to find the answer in seconds while everyone else is still just guessing. You are going to be the person on the team who just knows how to fix it. So, my question is, who's the API expert on your team now? Go out there and use this.